So our sixth card is going to be a threefold Valentine card. And I'm including the art for this, but I'm going to start painting right away. I didn't know whether you guys wanted to show me drawing. So first I'm going to start with the green leaves. And these leaves are a little different. They're kind of have a very decorative edge, not just a plain edge. But I will paint them just like we painted the other leaves with the light green first and then let that dry. I'm going to keep this card to just a couple colors. I think 3. I'll use pink and then purple and green. So little variations of that. The green leaf was bleeding into that swirl, so when both were still wet, so I took a paper towel and I picked up the watercolor. If you have a clean paper towel and you smush down on the watercolor, it'll pick it right up. So I'm going to do the flowers a little differently, as I'm going to base in the flower with just a light pink each flower, since I'm going to keep to just a couple different colors on the flowers. So I'm skipping that middle line and I'm going to do a base in pink, and then I'm going to drop in a little bit of purple. There's the purple dropped in just a little, just to change the color a little bit. Gives it interest. Okay, I'm going to flip the card over and start on the heart. And the heart is what will be hooked into the other side of the card. So I decided to do this, that I wanted this one really dark. So I'm using the pink and purple in really dark tone, because I think that you could add a name very nicely with the white pen over the top of that. Okay, and I'm basing the flowers in again just with a light pink. All the flowers will have that same base coat, and we'll add details from there. Using the same color tones, I'm going to do a pink and purple top. So I'm laying the pink in, and then I'll drop some purple over the top of that and blend in the edges. I want to add some texture to this, and so I'm going to do that with clear water. So after I get this all based in, I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm just dropping water onto that area, if you can see, just touching the water. It's creating a very subtle texture to the card. Okay, I've flipped it back over, and I'm going to detail the flowers, and I'm going to put this light colored pink line in. Again, keeping to the pink tones. I'm adding just a little bit of that purple color to that upper area too. Now I'm with a darker pink, I'm adding the details of the flowers, and I'm kind of varying the shades a little. That's kind of a medium pink. I had decided that I better do the outside of this flower, since the inside of the other flowers were pink. And I'm going to put in the stripes of the swoosh underneath in a darker pink. Now well, after I touch up a couple things, I'm going to flip the card over and I'm going to add a purple line above the heart here, and that's just straight painted. I'm trying to use a really wet purple so it's not real dark. This purple can be really dark at times, so I'm just using a fairly wet version of that purple. And I'm going to make the swirl pink like I did above or on the other side. Now I'm adding the pink details, and you'll notice that I'm working where I'm not touching the other paint, so it just makes it easier that way. And I'm choosing different areas of each flower to add the darker pink to. That I'm actually going to make a little purple. And I'm still working with the purple, and I really like how that purplish pink looks, so I'm going to add that to a couple of the other flowers. The inside of the larger flower. And now I'm going to base in the leaves. Flipping the card over, and I'll be adding details, more details to the flowers, which I'm going to continue with purple. Now I'm going to start adding the shadows in the leaves just like we had before. There's a darker green where the leaf hits the flower, and then a darker green on the edge of each leaf. So I'm going to add purple into the top of the image. I really like how that purple and green look together. So I'm trying to do a mid-tone purple with those leaves. And I had let it dry between it doesn't seem like I did, but I let the card dry between painting the purple and finishing the leaves. Just remember, if it's wet and you're going to be right next to it, you probably want to let it dry before you proceed to the next step, or you'll get just a muddy mush of color. So this is a purple that I'm just doing a little touch up here and there with. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of texture just with that clear water like I did on the other side. And I'll start on the bottom of this side, which I'm also going to do a purple, but I'm going to use a darker purple. Just a little bit more pigment, a little bit more paint on the brush. And working with your colors, you'll notice that the amount of water that you use with it will determine how dark your color is. That's just you getting used to your paint. So as I was painting the purple, I decided to make a light pink between the purple and the image here. Just kind of a nice rose pink. I wanted to keep the contrast but not have it be bright white. So made it light pink. Okay, I'm switching over to the smaller brush and I'm doing the shadow accents on the leaves. Okay, I finished up with the accents and now I'm going to add glitter. The first glitter I'm going to use is the clear Studio G glitter I got from Walmart. And as I always do, I choose one side of the leaves to add glitter to. And I'm going to add glitter to just one of the stripes, that big light pink stripe. I'm going to add glitter to that. And now I'm going to add a little bit of glitter to some of the flowers. And now I'm going to add glitter to the purple stripe. I want to add just enough glitter that it's fun, but not enough glitter that it's really crazy. So there's a fine line. Sometimes I get crazy with the glitter. Alright, I'm going to finish up with the leaves here, and then I'll add a little bit onto the swirls. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the gold glitter. And mainly I want it around that dark heart. I just think it will look really good around that heart. But since I'm adding it to the heart, I need to add it to a couple different areas on the card so that it balances out. So I just chose two of the flowers on the top or the bottom, and then I'll add accents to a couple of the other flowers. I've decided to add just a line of glitter between the two lines there. And then on the bottom, I'm putting little glitter stripes to the edge. Now I'm getting out the Sharpie white pen and I'm putting some stripes into the stripes. That makes sense. White stripes into the pink stripes. And I'm going to add just a couple accents just to liven up the flowers a little bit. It's not overly accented. You can add your white before or after the glitter. It would probably be more effective to add it before. I just had forgotten that step. Okay, so I had let the card dry and now I'm adding the gemstones. And those gemstones are also from the Studio G that I got at Walmart, and they're 97 cents for the gemstones. And the glitter was the same amount. So you can finish a lot of cards with that one package of gems. And I'm using an X-Acto to put the gems on, and I decided that one gem was too big, so I'm grabbing a small one, and the small ones are really hard to deal with. They have a tiny little sticker on back, and so they're really hard to place. And I'll put one more gem on there, and then the card will be done. Those small gems are hard to do. Oh, I forgot, I have to cut out the around the heart. So I'm putting in a tick mark on the heart on both sides, and then I'll cut around it. And I'm cutting through cold press watercolor paper, so it's kind of tough. Oops, it caught my blade, so I'm re-putting the blade back into the X-Acto. And I'll finish cutting. Looks a lot harder than it is. It's really not that hard. It just takes patience. And probably my X-Acto is not as sharp as it should be. Okay, so I'm going to pop it out just to make sure it's all cut. And then I'll pop the top edge under the bottom edge, and there you have your card. Happy painting. I lost a gem. I have to replace it there. Enjoy. Happy Valentine's Day.